All right, hoo-hoo. It's time to start pulling this engine out, putting the short block in. Hopefully that makes more horsepower. It's supposed to take more, so we're starting the process. So these are just pictures of the old block coming out, and just a little bit about the new block that's going in. So the new block is a 6630-2 block. You'll see a picture of that later at the end. The short block has a scat. It's a scat crank, 8-bolt crank. It's got scat rods with ARP 2000 rod bolts. It has aluminum main caps with 5/8 main studs in the center 3 caps. The block was decked and line bored, and it was balanced and that sort of thing by Ed Thompson. So the block was prepped by Ed Thompson. It's let's see, it's set up so we can put a girdle in it if we want to get a little bit more power out of it. It's rated at 850 horsepower. That's what Ed Thompson said it should be able to take, is 850 horsepower. We're not probably going to use all that because this frame can't handle it. So the top of the pistons are 9 and 9.3 compression ratio. Thermal barrier coating on the top of the pistons, and there's a coating on the skirt. The cam, it's a custom cam by Racer Brown. See, we've added 120-pound injectors with an Aeromotive Eliminator fuel pump. We've also added Caltrax for a little bit extra traction. Let's see, I'm not sure if there's anything else I need to tell you about it, but that's the main stuff. So a little bit later on, you'll see for our run at the track and our best ET of the day, which ain't the best it's going to be. So there's a lot of toys in the EFI Source Gold Box ECU that we installed on this thing, and one of them is the two-step, which we've turned on. So if you listen here, what I'm doing basically is I'm pre-staging the car. When I finally turn on the second light, I mash the pedal to the floor. Let's see. So we're making progress. This is as fast as it's going to go, but it's the fastest that it's been. So we were pretty tickled with this pass. You can see in this picture of the data log that when I let off the two-step, it was making 4.5 pounds of boost. So then on the next pass, we broke an axle. So that was the end of our day at the track. We were having some problems with the boost pressure fluttering. We had the boost control valve back at the turbo. We've since moved it up to the intake, and the problem occurred. We had noticed the problem when we had we brought the boost pressure down to 0, or the boost duty bias table down to 0. So it was just running on spring pressure, and so since we've done that, it seems to have eliminated the problem. So we also have learned how to control the boost pressure a little bit better. Originally on this boost duty bias table here, we had it set at 100. The whole table was full of 100, and the boost pressure actually went up to 225 kPa, or like 18 psi. And so we finally figured out that if we lowered this number down, actually if you put zeros in the whole table, it only makes spring pressure. So here we've been bringing the pressure up a little bit. This is how we currently have it set up. Not saying this is the best setup, but that's what we're working with at the moment. But to control the boost pressure, to get it below, like it'll actually go to double spring pressure, or higher really, because our springs are like 7.5 pounds of springs. And with this set at 100, we were getting 18 pounds. So you can actually go higher than double. It seems to be the case. So anyway, this boost duty table here, that seems to control your boost pressure. So we're working on getting it set up, and we'll eventually turn it on to where it's closed loop, and we can so it'll run the pressure I want to, no matter what the atmosphere is that day. So anyway, thanks. Thanks for listening.